year, Silicon Valley's top chefs must compete in a head-to-head challenge, taking items from a food pantry and creating fine dining cuisine. At West Valley Community Services, each chef is given a course. With 10 minutes on the clock, they must create a recipe based on the ingredients found in the food pantry. They will be judged on their skill, their knowledge, and their creativity at a full-scale event by an audience of hundreds. 4 chefs, 1 food pantry. Who will become this year's Chef of Compassion?
My name is RJ Subaba. I'm the executive chef at Chin Chin Wine Bar and Restaurant in Los Gatos. It's a very small, quaint, upscale wine bar. Hi.
Hi, Chef RJ. How are
Nice
you
to
doing?
meet you.
Good.
Okay, so this is my course.
It is.
Second course.
All right, and now we're going to go ahead and to the food pantry.
There's a lot of variety here. Well, definitely the most difficult aspect of the challenge is walking into a pantry blind, essentially, not knowing what's going to be in there. Fortunately enough, there's a lot of good opportunities within the food pantry to make a nice dish. Pick this out. So what is this? Whole legs?
Whole leg.
Okay, great. I think I'll go with that instead. This changes my whole strategy now. I was thinking pasta, less protein, but now that I have this chicken leg, I could do something a little more intricate. But what, I'm not quite sure yet. One is something to just jump out and say, corn, I have corn, squash, beans, succotash. Well, I was pleasantly surprised about the pantry. I was expecting a lot of dried food and canned food, but there's actually a lot of fresh produce there. It's good for the people that are going to be shopping here because they have access to, healthy food. I think I got what I need for the dish. So I'm thinking crispy braised chicken thigh on a white corn succotash. It's a very humble kind of dish with beans, corn, and vegetables, and a chicken leg, which is not very expensive and pretty accessible to a lot of people. So thank you. Thank you. So welcome to Chin Chin Wine Bar and Restaurant in Los Gatos. We're here cooking a dish for the West Valley Community Services Food Pantry fundraiser, Chefs of Compassion. So here we have for the Chefs of Compassion tasting is a little small diced onion, white corn just cut off the cob, small diced zucchini, tomato, and orange bell pepper, mixed beans, and the broth that the beans were cooked in. What you don't see here is the chicken. I took one chicken leg, I deboned it, and I rolled it in plastic to give it a cylindrical shape. And we're gonna poach it and then roast it. Well, the inspiration for the dish is pretty much the season that it comes from. Right now there's beautiful white corn, sweet white corn. So I mean that with some beans and some other vegetables to kind of like balance out the flavors with a chicken leg, which is a good protein. It's, in terms of chicken, it's kind of fatty. It won't dry out very easily, and it's probably my favorite part of the chicken, yeah. I've always been in the kitchen ever since I was a young child, with my great-grandparents, my grandparents, my parents helping make the family meal. I was fortunate enough to work with very talented chefs at very well-known, prestigious restaurants early on, and they gave me a very solid foundation. I love cooking because it's kind of like relaxing, even though the actual job of cooking is stressful. There's something relaxing about digging into a product and working with it with your hands and coming out with the finished product, and it's something better than what it was originally. So beans go in, a little bit of the bean stock, and we'll start with half of this. All right, let's go back to the chicken. So we'll let that rest and we'll assemble the dish. Okay, so here's all the components for the dish. All the produce became the corn succotash. Some of the beans became a bean puree. The chicken roulade here. And I grabbed tarragon and chives from the food pantry, so this will just be a garnish. In terms of the challenge, yeah, you have to be quick on your feet, and I kind of want to say that you go back to your basics, you know, and just think about the roots of good flavor. You know, it doesn't have to be anything very intricate. It doesn't have to be anything complicated. When you have good produce and good vegetables and good proteins and things like that, you don't really have to do much to make a great meal out of it. There are people here doing noble work for the less fortunate, which is good for everybody. It's definitely an eye-opener for me.